Hey folks, so this lesson is on inverse trig function derivatives. So just a couple more derivatives rules that are good to know for the AP exam, but not super common. On your derivative sheet, they are over here. So 14, 15, and 16. And then as a reminder, I'm not actually sure how much you guys have seen this prior to now, but these are inverse trig functions, and something like arctan like that of x is the same as tangent inverse of x like that. So these two notations mean the same thing. So for example, like arctangent is the opposite of tangent, and then sine to the negative 1, so that you read that as sine inverse, and we could also write that as arc sine. Okay. And then we'll just do 2 here. Once you know how to do these two types of problems, you're going to fly through these. It's just a matter of plugging them into our derivatives rules. So notice this one looks a little bit different, but it should look familiar. So it says evaluate the limit and express your answer in simplest form. Okay. So, and then it's like limit arctangent of like this thing minus arctangent of 1/5 over h. Well, this should look familiar. So this is the limit definition. So remember, limit definition of a derivative is the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Okay. So a way I could rewrite this question, this is a great thing to know for the AP exam, a way I could rewrite this question is take the derivative and plug in 1/5. Okay. So this 1/5 is where I'm taking the derivative at. And then, so what I would do is I would go to my derivatives rules. And arctangent is down here, 1 over 1 plus x squared. So I'd say this is equal to 1 over 1 plus 1/5 squared. Okay, so this definition is useful to know because it just allows us to skip doing all the work with the limit altogether and just use the derivative rule, which is pretty slick. So these two things are equal, and then I want to simplify it. So 1 over 1 plus 1 over 25, and then 1 over 1 is 25 over 25, right? Okay, and then, oh, got a little ahead of myself there. So I'm going to say 1 over 25 here, and then I get 1 over 26 over 25, and then that's just equal to 25 over 26. It's reciprocal, right? Okay. So there's my solution to the first one. So anytime you see this, especially on like an AP style exam, think like, okay, limit definition of a derivative. Can I just rewrite this using a derivative rule? And often the answer is yes. Okay. Now, the other type of problem you'll see in this particular assignment is essentially the same question, just written without the limit definition. So this is the sine inverse of x, taking the derivative of. And then sine inverse of x is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay. So f prime of x, and notice there's no other functions involved, so I'm just essentially rewriting the derivatives rules. So it was 1 minus x squared. Make that. And then we want f prime of root 15 over 4. And this looks like it's going to be ugly, but it's actually going to work out pretty nicely for us. Okay. And then instead of x, I want to say root 15 over 4. squaring that. So when I square it, my life gets easier. 1 minus root 15 squared is 15, and then 4 squared is 16. Okay, so 1 minus 15/16. Well, that's, you can probably do that in your head. That's 1/16. And then the square root of that, 4th. Okay, so my final answer here, 1 over 1/4, well, that's just 4. And I'm done. Okay. So at the end of this assignment, you'll learn a couple more derivatives rules that, again, are nice to know for the AP exam, but are fairly uncommon. So good for you for digging into these.